Welcome to Dentaverse, Beyond the Brush, where we drill deep into the future of dentistry. I'm your host, Leyla Ibrahimli, here to guide you through the cavities of innovation, from AI root canals to blockchain braces. It's time to floss your mind and brighten up your knowledge. Bite down, hold tight, and let's explore the dental universe. Hello, Lorant. Great to have you in the second episode of Dentaverse Beyond the Brush podcast. I'm actually genuinely excited to talk to you again. I think this will be quite an interesting conversation. But before we start all this, one question to you. Please introduce yourself to our audience. So who is Lorant Stumpf?
Thank you so much for the kind invitation. I'm extremely happy to be here with you. And actually, regarding to this question, let's put my life together. So originally, I'm a Hungarian dental technician, okay? I finished the dental school in 2000. My father was a dentist, so I was quite young when I decided to be in the dental field. So I finished the school in 2000 and I built my career in the other side of the country. Means that I moved to my hometown and I started to working and I started to learning conventional dental technology. I built up my first laboratory in 2007. So I learned 7 years, all the techniques, all the analog conventional techniques. And I started my laboratory in 2007. 2 years later, 3 years later, around 2009, 2010, as I remember, the very first software, the version number was 2009. So as I remember, 2009 was the very first time when I started to using digital softwares, CAD/CAM softwares, dental-related softwares. A year later, in 2010, so 10 years later than I finished the school, I graduated as a master dental technician. So I thought to myself that I reached the analog level, in the highest level, actually in my country, that I became a master. And I worked like crazy in my physical laboratory with the maximum number, as I remember, was 15 employees or 16 employees. So it was it's a massive factory laboratory. And I got an offer with my family. I have 2 sons, and with my wife, we moved to Ireland from 2013 to 2018. So we spent 8 years there. And it was really nice because I was able to learn the English. I was able to speak better English. I was able to travel all around the Europe, all around the world to learn new technologies, going to presentations, visiting different lectures. So one lecture was really mind-blowing for me when it's about digital dentistry and how to copy nature. I met a person, his name is Paulo Cano. He's a Brazilian professor, dentist, dental technician. He's a wonder child. He changed the way how I'm thinking about digital dentistry, how I'm working with these tools, because it was interesting. He asked me to do lectures with him. I joined the team. I became also a lecturer. I started to giving trainings and presentation from 2016. So I was able to travel all around the world and meet very nice and interesting people. And I finished the Irish life and we moved back to Hungary with the family. The kids had to learn the Hungarian as well. Thanks God they speak quite fluently, especially the old one in English. So we did the job. But I became a freelancer, dental technician, consultant, whatever you call it, from 2018. Companies, dental laboratories, dental clinics, they are asking me to find a solution for their daily problems and daily issues. And I'm like a guardian angel going there, and based on my experience, I'm trying to help them. I started to make a virtual business called Dental Design Service in 2019. After my lectures, after my presentations, mainly dentists ask me all the time that, okay, Laurent, that was wonderful, but if tomorrow I want to start this journey, where should I send my cases? Who can able to do the design for me? So I said, okay, this is a spot. Let's do it. And I started the Dental Design Service in 2019, as I mentioned. A year after, in 2010, I started another project. I made a special shop, like an online shop where you can able to buy some special digital tools like libraries, like anatomical forms for your software. And this became quite successful because now people, how I see when I going somewhere, when somebody introduced me for the audience, they always mentioning that, guys, just to put this guy somewhere, he is the one that he created this library. He is the one that we are thankful because of this library. So people are matching my name with digital libraries, which is a nice thing. So 2020, I created this website. It's still running. More and more people are joining. It's a side hustle, but it's working really nicely because wherever I got some new inspiration, new shapes, and I'm putting there, people are purchasing it and giving the feedback. It's a nice thing. And because we are here and I'm talking with you, my metaverse experience, this type of experience, I started in the middle of, let's say, 2021. When there was a huge crypto boom and everybody started to producing NFTs, and I started to learning, I started to understanding, or at least I try to understand what it's all about, and this is how I'm here. So answering your question, this is Lorant Stumpf.
Amazing. Thank you. Like, you have such rich history, and it's quite funny to see how you started in a sense like fully analog, but now your name is like associated with digital things. So it's quite exciting to see that. And as you mentioned, if someone goes to spatial.io and searches for dental design service by Lorant Stumpf, they actually go and see your space. It's one of my favorite metaverses to show to people when we go to expos, besides our Dentaverse world home and everything else. It's a great like space, 3-4 floor building, beach, car, stage. You have your dental cabinet, meeting room, terrace. Just tell me, where did the idea come from? And did you actually build the space yourself? Like, how did you go around it? What was the initial idea, and how did you develop it to that final stage of having a business property in Metaverse?
Thank you so much, first of all, the kind words about this creation. I'm really happy and extremely thankful to you for your kind feedback. And if you are visiting it, you can see that it's changing day by day, week by week. So it's not like, okay, I made it and that's it. Take it or leave it. I'm always changing, modifying. So I like to take care about it. It's like like a little baby for me. But actually, answering to your question, uh, the idea of building this type of business came from this type of, I don't know, how should I say better, desire to create a much interactive, a much immersive experience for the clients. Because I truly believe in the way that you need to put the value of your work in a special way that people, when maybe you know me, maybe you heard about me, maybe this is the first time you just got an impact because you saw an Instagram post or just went to Metaverse, to the spatial worlds. You have to give a unique interactive experience immediately. That was the main idea, but I was not able to do it. I was not able to provide it. And as I mentioned to you, I started to understanding how the NFT business is working under the COVID. As you remember, everybody made it, everybody sell it, everybody became a millionaire. And that was really funny, but not for me. So I started to look and find people, normal, ordinary people, companies who are trying to develop their work and bring it to the Web3 and trying to sell it as an NFT. What does it mean? I found a company called Metaverse Studio. These companies are made designing in India. They are designing buildings, house buildings. They made, I don't know, a special area in India, somewhere in area with thousands of houses. So they developed, as I remember, 5 or 6 different type of houses. And if you purchased their NFTs, you were able to get the tri-dimensional object for free. And as I remember, they offered something that if you want to rebuild or replan, you will get a discount, something like this. The story was I purchased one house for my wife for as a Christmas present. You know that, honey, I bought you a house through an NFT. She was really happy in the beginning. When I finished my sentence, she was not so satisfied, but this is another story.
Yes, she was waiting for the keys, and then she received like a MetaMask wallet with the NFT inside
Exactly. So I bought you a house and I give you in an envelope with a QR code. So I started to talking with this guy, the owner of the studio, the planning studio. And I told him that, listen, I'm an owner of one of your NFT. And what I would like to do is, I don't know where, because at the moment I don't have experience, I don't have the knowledge. How I see the virtual land is extremely expensive, but I will find the place. But what I would like to ask from you is believe in me, believe in my crazy idea that I would like to create a dental laboratory from scratch, just like you have experience in real life houses, how to design it. I would like to create exactly the same. Means that all the measures, everything has to be the same, because I will use it somehow with VR. I don't know where, I don't know when, but this is what we need to do. And he said, okay, that's not a problem. Let's start. And I really liked this type of attitude what he had, because we made it piece by piece, floor by floor, all the building. And I was able to be part of the building because there were so many questions. And what I wanted to do and what I wanted to reach out is a virtual space which looks really similar like a physical space with several opportunities. If you go inside, you can see there is designing room at the moment with 3 empty computers. But in the nearly future, when I found the right person who can able to create some kind of special design for me, that even for my quality checking is good enough, because I'm a maximalist, so it's hard. But you will be able to reach this guy easily through this computer. So I see how I want to build up the whole structure. And this guy spent months, I'm not lying to you, months to build up one by one everything. So the main floor is the design. The main floor is about education. The main floor is about whoever wants to come, feel free to come, welcome to come. And we are able to talk that area. The second floor about NFTs. The third floor is about the digital library, as I mentioned to you. Now you can able to purchase everything. You can get the latest information. You can get free stuff there. So it's a very unique place. And the only reason why it was my crazy mission to create it, because if I purchase from somewhere a template and I change the color, it won't be the same.
Yeah, this is something that's unique to you. And as you said, you have become the part of the building because it's just who you are, and all your words and visions and dreams, you see them realize in that space. And that's quite unique to see. And to be honest, I think it's also important to share how much work and effort it takes for you and also for others to be involved and create the space, because sometimes I feel like we just take it for granted and we just think, okay, just another metaverse. They built it like overnight. Now it's booming, but we don't see what it takes to actually get there. And I think that's why like it's quite important to know that, and for you to share like how much time it took you to get there. And the next question is, okay, let's say I'm your client, and how does my customer journey look like? So I came to your space and let's say I meet you there. So after that, what happens?
Okay, first of all, the main procedure, how a typical customer, a new customer, the the workflow is how it's working is like this. I like to advertise, or actually, if there is something what I would like to give information regarding to my services, I like to use the social media. So let's say on the Facebook, on the Instagram, if there is something very specific, LinkedIn, but, and this is my kind suggestion to everybody who is listening to this podcast in the future, that you need to find your own platform, because maybe TikTok is working for others and it's not working for you because you are, let's say, just a picture content creator. Different channels, different people. But let's say I'm advertising myself on the Instagram and you are crazy involved with the picture or with the story and you are getting in touch with me. I like and I prefer to use WhatsApp for communication. First of all, I give you a complete informational package. Means that I put immediately the value to the new customers, to you, that listen, I'm representing this type of work. This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm doing. This is the price of my work. This is the turnaround time of my work. All the information just for you. You are a dentist, and 99.9% customers are dentists. You have a clear vision that, okay, Laurent is doing this type of work. I give you a little time just to digest, just to get the questions. Because everybody, no matter, it's an international business, so no matter where you are, you have a main workflow, but everybody doing a little bit differently. So you need to understand that what is the type of workflow what I'm representing. In the end of our conversation on WhatsApp, I give you the link, a really simple access to the Metaverse laboratory. So if you have any questions, feel free to come, and just like a Zoom meeting, just like any other platforms like WhatsApp or Viber, I'm able to talk about the questions. Hopefully I'm able to answer to the questions. And the main reason why I like to use this type of 3D internet, I don't know how should I say, but I feel like when I'm in my spatial metaverse, I feel like I'm in the 3D internet, because I'm able to share with you pictures, videos, notes, screen shares, whenever I have information, 3D files. So I find much more valuable. And if something is needed, and usually every month I'm changing the content, means that I found an interesting case, I record the execution of the design, and it's quite normal or usual that because I changed it, it's not visible, but it's on the server. So a customer, when he's explaining me the situation with the case, I'm able to provide him immediately a video. So mainly I'm using the platform for communication.
Thank you. And what's your favorite case study or story you like to tell about your services in Metaverse? Like maybe there's a story like with a client or whatever, and they just got like impressed or amazed, and you like to use it as a funny, like an anecdote to tell to people. What's that story for you?
Actually, let me give you the choice, the decision. You will decide which story you want to hear. Because I can talk about a young dental designer from Far East. I can talk about an old conventional Spanish dental technician. I can talk about a digital dentist from United States. Which story do you want to hear? A dentist, a young dental technician, or the old dental technician?
Let's go with the old one.
With the old one. Okay.
Yes.
So it's not a secret that we met 3 weeks ago in Romania personally.
Exactly, in Ident Revolution.
As you remember that we just hugged each other and I had to run to the airport because I went to Spain.
Indeed.
And it was quite special for me because that was the very first time when I was able to talk about not just pure digital dentistry, not just a case execution, not just a case study, a material study. I combined, and actually on Ident, it was a little bit balanced. The digital, the metaverse thing, my passion, the CGIs, and the clinical stuff. But in Spain, no. I was like crazy to talk about Metaverse and Web3 and everything. And the poor organizers, they were a little bit afraid in the beginning that, okay, how people will think about hearing this in a dental event, in a congress. But the feedback was amazing. And I'm honest with you, after my lecture, I started to walking around. That was a huge building, a whole huge congress building, and an old conventional, like Santa Claus dental technician just stopped me, and he told me that first I was a little bit confused that, okay, maybe I was in the wrong place, or I don't know what is going on. But he mentioned me that he was in on my lecture. He listened my lecture, and his grandfather, his father, was a dental technician. He's a dental technician, his son is a dental technician, and his grandson will be a dental technician. So it's a family business. But now he feels that where is a really potential way to bring their business, their family business. Means that how they understand that it was not from my side. In my presentation, it was not like showing off myself that, oh, I have a 3D laboratory. Not at all. The reason why I showed them, the reason why I like to talk about this, to bring more people in, to show that it's open for everybody. It's a beautiful place and it's open for everybody. Now he see the future, the potential way how they can put together the family business and bring to a new field. So that was my experience, and I was really thankful to him. And I told him that please forgive me, but I will always mention this story if somebody asking me. And he said, okay, I accept it and go ahead.
That's very nice. It actually brings me to my next question, which is like, what are the opportunities and also limitations of this digital business model as compared to the traditional or analog way of doing things? As you mentioned, this man, he has like almost like 5 generations of dental technician business. And now, let's say, if he converts to the digital style, what are the limitations or opportunities that he may face in there?
Okay, this is a really interesting question, because I think that we need to, and actually I can share with you my personal opinion about it, that we need to divide this thing to 2 pieces, the physical business and the virtual business. And let's first talk about the physical part, because the physical business has a geographical limitations, means that wherever you are limited to the place. You can serve just the area around you. And even now, here is my example that digital dentistry, CAD-CAM dentistry, we can divide CAD-CAM to CAD, to design and manufacturing, means that your designer, he doesn't need to be there physically to create the job for you. You can hire somebody from the other side of the world, but then the manufacturing, the production is located. So you need to advertise yourself locally in your area to get attention and get new clients. My experience when I moved to Ireland, and that's why I mentioned Ireland for you and for the audience as well, that the word of mouth has so much power. Means that if you are running a local business and you are giving good quality to the people, they will spread all around this information. For us, it took 3 years in Ireland. Everybody in the company was Hungarian. Under 3-4 years to get 25,000 patients just by word of mouth. So it's really strong. Regarding to the physical business, the employee question is also really, really important thing, because if you want to deliver good quality, you need good employees. And it's extremely hard to find good people in a physical area, in a closed area. That's why it takes time and it's a little bit slow. The digital business doesn't have limitations regarding to physical, geographical limitations. You need to buy a domain name and you are ready to start.
That's true. Like Metaverse, in a sense, it gives you the location freedom. As you said, you are not tied to one city, one place, or the connections that know you, but you are able to reach a global audience as long as like the power, like the control lies in your hands.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
As you said, like it took you 3 years to get like new clients or like get to people know you in Ireland. Do you think like now with your knowledge right now, you could speed up that process somehow?
If I found a good marketing expert, I'm sure. But actually the main reason why that was okay, because of the word of mouth. If you are forcing more to get more likes, you can get this illusion, but it doesn't mean nothing. If you build up your business, your physical business, in word of mouth and in strong marketing, of course, the marketing is essential. Sometimes you need to advertise yourself just because to be in the front page, just to see the people has to see you, just to remember you. So yeah, definitely this is an essential. But back to the digital business, this business model doesn't have geographical limitations, which is a super nice thing you mentioned. That's awesome. Meanwhile, and that's the problem I think that a lot of people forget is the market is huge and you are just a small tiny piece of it. And people, when they feel that, oh yeah, that's my idea, this is what I want to do, this is how I want to do it, let's go to the metaverse, they think that this will be an immediate success, an immediate solution, everybody will like it, and this will be the new viral thing. Not at all. It takes time. It takes time. And actually, if you look around a little bit on the internet, you can see clearly that 3-5 years from now, we will be in this type of level. But depends from a lot of things. But back to the answering your question, the digital business, as I mentioned, no geographical limitations. The marketplace is huge, but even the marketplace is huge, the digital dentistry community is small. Means that if you are unique, if you are creating valuable thing, you will get attention always. This is my personal experience. But even for me, it's hard to find good designers, because honestly, how I see that the dental technicians at the moment, they are in a really interesting situation. We have CAD operators, guys who can able to operate the software. They know where to click, what you can achieve if you click on that button. And you have CAD designers with experience regarding analog dentistry, knowledge about anatomy. They are experienced guys. They are designers. These type of designers, normally they are running a laboratory. They are involved in a clinic, so they are not freelancers. I see on the market a lot of CAD operators. The guys are young, talented guys. Amazing what they can able to do, but they have to understand that you have to build a strong base, and this base in this field has to be knowledge. You need to learn knowledge. You need to have this knowledge about anatomy, about function, to bring to a new level to your job and get money from it, or be much more valuable, or I don't know how should I say, but I'm sure that you understand what I'm trying to explain.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly. And that's actually the other thing that I want to ask is what skills do you think like current dental professionals or technicians lack in terms of like Web3 adoption, and how fast do you think they can learn them? As you said, like CAD operators, their knowledge are limited. CAD designers, they're, let's say, too busy with their business to actually, let's say, in a sense, like help you. So in a sense, there's a gap. And for the people who would learn the correct skills, as you said, they will be unique, they will be searchable, and they will be able to provide value or service. So in terms of this Web3 or Metaverse, what do you think, or what would you advise the current dental technicians or operators to learn, and how fast do you think they can learn it so that they can go to the next level and offer a better value?
Definitely, how I feel and see that learning. Let me give you an example. Learning how to operate a software, it's about 3 days. That I'm able to teach you that without anatomical knowledge, just by clicks, like a blind man, you can able to create a crown. It doesn't mean that this crown will fit and this crown will be okay, but you will be able to create a crown. To learn deeply anatomy, it takes years. Meanwhile, I'm always suggest to everybody, young dental technicians, young people who are thinking about maybe I will be a dental technician. So they are calling me just to give an advice that what I'm thinking about the dental technology and the dental technicians. I'm always telling them that this field is so huge that be don't live in a miracle that you will know everything. You need to find something, the part of dental technology, if you are a dental technician, and you need to masterize yourself in this field. My example is my passion was always, maybe because of my past, that my first teacher told me that I have manual limitations, that I'm not able to do with my hands whatever I'm thinking, that because of this type of frustration, I choose the high-end aesthetic. So I prefer to create beautiful teeth. And I masterize myself, and you see it, I'm in the field 35 years now, just to live a passionate life and enjoy every day because I'm able to do what I like to do. So this is my advice to the new generation, to build a strong base. The base is on knowledge, so they need to learn, they need to read books, but they need to choose the way, and based on this way, they need to select the books, what they will read.
That's true. That's true. I think, yeah, it's important for people in a sense. As you said, it takes years to develop a certain skill and to own it and to become better and better. But once you are in that top 1%, top 5%, you really become indispensable and very powerful. Still, the learning continues, but you have reached to the level that where you can deliver things, and as you said, like your name or your services can be associated with certain aspects. And basically, as you said, because right now, especially now as we go towards more Web3, the knowledge is becoming more accessible, which means the competition is also evolving. So as a business or as a person, what steps do I need to take so that I constantly differentiate myself from others?
That's very, very, very important, because before our conversation, before I had an idea what I wanted to share with you, which I think it's important, that how I feel, and for also the listeners, how I feel that you don't need to be the best in something to get attention. You need to be very good, but if you can able to create your uniqueness, that's more than enough. And because every person is different, you don't need to act and figure out, because that will be always acting. You just need to put yourself, and this is my life as well. I see that not maybe it's not okay for everybody, but definitely there are people who understand the way how you are thinking and they will support you. So as a competition in the metaverse grows, the business actually you need to innovate and as we started, the improve the user experience more and more. But how I'm thinking at the moment is working like this. For an everyday dentist or a dental technician, I buy the technology to become digital. Dentist side, I bought the oral scanner. Now I'm digital. The lab side, I bought the CAD software. Now I'm digital. No, you are not. But that's okay. In the nearly future, how I see that this will be changing. The patient will dictate, just like always, means that, okay, I'm in this field. What you can give me to support me or give me any type of restoration, any type of information. So that's why we have to be prepared. And that's why we need to be in the forefront, I think.
And how do I find my uniqueness or like, oh, my signature? In a sense, like, again, it ties to the brand, in a sense, like being a personal brand. Let's say now your name is a brand because it tells people something. Or let's say Dentaverse on its own, it's a brand, like people immediately associate us with some other things. So as I move towards a future, how do I find it? Or like, what would, let's say, Leila bring to the industry?
Actually, there are millions of receipts how to become successful. I'm sure that you can just Google it and you will find thousands of techniques. But my opinion is the following. And actually, this way, I changed a lot of things, even in my presentations, because I put to my presentation what I wanted to explain to the audience, and I didn't think about the way how the audience is thinking regarding to be and find your uniqueness and be successful. That you need to do some kind of analytics. You need to understand that people who are looking after you, who are they? And based on this information and based on the behavior what you have, you can create something so special and so unique that the people that you are giving will enjoy it. You will enjoy it because the content will be from your heart, and it's a win-win situation. I think this is the right way. Actually, this is how I'm doing it.
That's a very good advice. I think indeed, like analyzing your audience, or in my case, like as head of community, it's in a sense my role, like to understand what the community in a sense wants to hear, like putting yourself, it's sometimes so easy to get caught up in thinking in your own head that you forget like the people that you serve to, and you need to like change the perspective and put yourself in their shoes to understand how they see it, what they lack. And as you said, when you bring something they need, when the supply in a sense meets demand, that's where you create value and service.
And that's why I feel the importance of this type of virtual meetings in my spatial laboratory, because sometimes when you do something day by day and you have this type of behavior that you are looking for an easier solution, or you will have this experience, you did it 100 times, so now you, even if you are close your eyes, you can do it. Sometimes a lot of information is obvious for you because you did it 100 times, so why should I talk about it? Because it's obvious. But because of a new customer, when you talk virtually with a new customer, these things are coming up because they are asking. In a WhatsApp, I don't feel the same. I don't feel the same. when we have this type of VR connection, actually, it's an important thing regarding to why I choose spatial, because I looked for a place where you can reach through computer, through mobile phone, so it's easier for the others. This is what I tried to explain before. That you see that even I know that there are fancy places in the metaverse that just the the land costs 3,000 euros. So I'm able to tell you, oh, Leila, my virtual laboratory is there. So if you are a tech savvy, you will immediately know that, oh, this guy spent 3,000 just for the land. No, I won't. I looked the solution that, okay, for a guy in Australia, it's easy. Through my mobile phone. Okay, that's cool. Let's look around and let's meet. Let's talk.
That's good. That's great. And previously, you also mentioned that you think that in the coming years, the communication will be more patient defined or like patient driven, like patient will dictate things. And that's why we should all be equipped like to come up with correct answers and everything. But what other developments or trends do you anticipate in the years to come? I know you are like super interested in AI tools. You are one of the first ones to jump on Metaverse, analyze NFTs, etc. So how do you envision the future? So in 1 year, 3 years, or 5 years, what do you think will change?
Actually, it's really interesting. Yesterday, I was here in Budapest, in Hungary. I was lucky enough to went to the university because I listened to one of my friend, who is, I think, one of the best speaker in the world, Christian Coachman. He is the owner of DSD, the Digital Smile Design, and he gave a lecture, a closed lecture, because he's giving a training. So I was there and I listened to his lecture, and he talked about the future of dentistry, how he thinks that the future of dentistry what will happen. And he talked about the comprehensive dentistry in a totally different aspect. So no AI, no fancy tools. He explained that what will happen and how he thinks it's happening. And he put a really straight point, which is a decision changer point, the patient acceptance. Means that if Leila wants a new smile, you can visit me, you can visit my virtual place, I can give you all the information, but the real thing, the real business, when you decide that, okay, the price of my new car, I will create a new smile, it will be better for me. So the patient acceptance. And there are tools before this patient acceptance, and there are tools after the patient acceptance. And the milling machines, the softwares, all these tools are giving you better outcome, better quality after the patient acceptance. Means that there are so many things what we need to figure out before the patient acceptance. It means that the virtual communication, it's a really valuable time, and it's a really hard decision that, okay, I will have a new restoration in the upcoming 10 years, 15 years. So under pressure, you are sitting in the dental chair. You need to choose, okay, this is good for you. I don't know. We need to bring to a field where everybody relaxed, everybody's happy. We need to give so high quality, high level of visualization for the patient that they can understand and decide that it's good for them or not. But definitely, I can tell you that there is a huge room for this, and there is a huge interest about this.
Thank you. And one last question to wrap up this podcast and this interview. I just want you to imagine Lorant 35 years ago. Young Lorant, who is at the start of his journey. He still doesn't know what he has to do, but he is super excited and has his vision. What would be one personal and one professional advice that you would give to yourself?
Use the English immediately. Start learning, speaking, go out, go to the other side of the world and learn, and be together with masterminds, and they will change the way how you are thinking. Actually, it's hard. It's a hard question, but actually, I decided and I put together step by step all of my life. So, if you ask me when I was 9 years old, I'm sure that I say that I will be the best dental technician in the world. Unfortunately, I couldn't be, but I'm trying to be in the forefront at least.
For sure, you're one of the leading ones. And what professional advice you would give yourself? So I guess the personal would be like, exactly, English is such a wealth of knowledge. So use it, talk more, reach out to more people, just learn. And what professional advice would you give yourself related to dentistry?
Regarding to professional advice, this is what I mentioned before, that it took me so much years to try different parts of dental technology to find my passion. And it was in my head from the beginning. Just, I felt that I will be an all-around dental technician and this will be good for me. Please don't misunderstand me. All these parts of dental technology, they are meshing together. Just, let's say you don't need to spend 4 years to create something what you don't really like and you are not really good in it. Just to say that, okay, now I know that I don't like because I made 2,000 pieces. So I forcing myself always these days as well, just to focus on the part what I really like.
That's a great advice. Thank you very much, Lorant. Thanks for taking your time, for sharing your insight. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and thanks for giving such interesting conversation with me today and with the audience.
Thank you so much.
That's it for this episode of Dentaverse Beyond the Brush. Remember, the future of dentistry is brighter when we explore together, so continue to floss your mind and expand your knowledge. To stay updated, follow our podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with your colleagues. This was your host, Leyla Ibrahimli, reminding you to bite down on curiosity and keep smiling until next time.